Yo, big up, Wagwan, where I deal with, why pre, where you dip on up top, blessings, bless up, Yazid, you don't know the pre. Oh, they are back again for another one, Yazid. But we have another debutant on the channel, ready for make him debut. And now we have my brethren, ours in the building. Where are some, bro? Wagwan.
They, as I know, ours are just Taj, because Taj easier to say than us. And,
Alright, fair enough.
we support Arsenal and Barca, but mainly Barca about Arsenal as an English side. But main team
Alright,
is Barca.
Barcelona. All right, fair enough.
Yeah,
But for me, majority of the content what me do is Premier League based. Obviously, everybody knows that I'm a Manchester City fan. So for the
yeah,
purpose of especially this current video, more your knowledge as a from an Arsenal perspective. You see me? Um,
yeah,
Obviously, when it comes to Champions League, then we can integrate some Barcelona into that. But or maybe like a El Clasico I go and we can talk about that. But I don't watch Barcelona a lot, so I don't really have much to say. I'm worse when I watch La Liga. So yeah.
yeah.
Um but yeah, for everybody don't tuning in right now, don't forget continue like the videos. Really love the support. Maybe not get on the previous videos. There's been a lot of likes on them, and we really have to thank the community for that a lot. The citizens are putting a lot of work. You don't know the thing go. But I do also ask that you guys continue to subscribe as well. Surprised that I got to 82 subscribers as quick as I did, and again, we really appreciate that, guys. So do help me out, and girls, of course. So do help me out and continue to do that. The goal is to get to 100 subscribers by the end of this year, and I think that is very, very possible and achievable. So definitely help me out with that. Fingers still crossed. But um, obviously it's a debut. I didn't get your predictions for what you think the league season will end up as. And after you give me that, people will go into speaking about the upcoming games. As you guys can see in the title, we want to talk about Manchester City versus Sheffield United. We want to talk about Arsenal versus Fulham, and we want to speak on the big one, Liverpool versus Newcastle. And we can also touch on Chelsea's match that also just ended against Luton Town. But before all of that, give me in order from like 1 to 8 how you think the Premier League will finish.
Uh, First place, we have Man City. Second, Arsenal. Third, Man U. Even though them start off kind of shaky, but I still think them are going to
Mm.
come third. Fourth, Liverpool. Fifth, Newcastle. Six, Spurs. Seven, Brighton. Eight, probably Aston Villa.
Really? No Chelsea?
Sure?
Or you
I
forgot
never
about
said
Chelsea? I heard
Chelsea.
City first, Arsenal second, Man U third, Liverpool fourth, Newcastle fifth, Brighton,
Oh,
Spurs, Brighton, and then Villa. So where would I put
alright.
Chelsea into that?
Put Chelsea fifth, Spurs sixth.
So that'd be
And take out
Chelsea
Aston Villa.
fifth, Newcastle sixth,
Spurs. Yeah.
Spurs seventh, Brighton eighth.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
To me, Spurs are gonna miss Harry Kane because
hmm,
Richarlison to
we see
me
that happening.
is no good.
Well, for me, obviously I gave my predictions already earlier in the season, but I feel like I will have to change it because the season I got close. People are bringing more signings. I'm gonna let go players as well, so everything kind of get shaky. I had City to win and then Liverpool second, but that was based on them getting in attack quality DM. I think them that are gonna get Lavia and then somebody better than Lavia as well to replace Fabinho, but them end up don't get Lavia, them get Endo, which we can talk about him when we speak on Liverpool. But I had City first, Liverpool second, Arsenal third, then I think Man U fourth, Chelsea fifth, then Spurs sixth, Newcastle seventh, and Brighton eighth. That's what I had before. But again, after the window closed, new predictions that's subject to change for sure. Because I don't think
Yeah.
I'm not giving a spoilers yet, but some things are gonna change up in that, you see me? And some side they
yeah.
get bump up based off of expectations, but we'll get to that. Um, we can start with Chelsea versus Luton Town that just ended, and let me know what your thoughts were on that match. You're the guest, so give me you can go first and give me your thoughts.
Um, to me, Chelsea, them could have closed off the match a long time, but they eventually, them score the next two goals. But when it was at just one goal, it
Mm.
looked like them could lose the lead a little bit, but it never look like said them gonna lose the match. So, 'cause Luton
Yeah,
didn't
fair enough.
really didn't really have enough chances, enough chance to score.
So being honest, watching the match, I never at any point feel like Chelsea could have lose it even before the match. I think if it never got Chelsea's way, it would have been a draw because I don't think Luton Town's strong enough to get a big result over Chelsea. So
Yeah,
watching the game, I feel like Chelsea made the match way harder than it did really need to be because when them score the first goal, everything before that them did a dominate. And as soon as them score, it's like them ease up off of the gas and them just start, knock the ball around more. Them did have a whole heap of possession and them really never did do anything with it. I think them create a lot of chances too, and then the striking is just terrible today. It looked probably better because it done 3-0, but if you
yeah.
actually watch the match, oh god man, the amount of chances that them get and what them do with it was just awful. Can't believe I made that watch. And apparently here I start there in the match as well that in the past 10 home games, Chelsea did not win a single match. This was the first home match them win in the past 11 games. So
Yeah, 'cause last season them did terrible last season,
yeah,
so and that's
it
my
was it
mind.
was awful, man. We actually
Yeah,
have
them
a, have
struggle
a
them
few
struggle to score
comments.
goals.
We have a few comments coming in. Predator Gaming says, "Hello, bro. Big up. Much appreciate you being here. Thanks so much for your support and your comments." And he says, "Nice game for Chelsea." I can't. I won't say that Chelsea was lucky to win the game because I think everyone predicted Chelsea to be winning that game. But I won't even say the scoreline should be a bit disappointing. I think everything was good about it except how they got the win. I think they should have done better throughout the game and come up with that win. There are a lot of players I was looking at, and I know they had a lot of injuries as well, but there were some players I was looking at to come up with some big performances, and it was okay. I'll leave it at okay. Luton Town didn't have their first shot on target until like 60 minutes in, which
Yeah.
is that is bad. Can't lie. But yeah, we don't really have to spend too much time on Chelsea. Um, I want to really go into the big match, Liverpool versus Newcastle. That's the big match for the weekend. We can
Yeah.
go to Arsenal and Fulham after that. Then we can move on to Manchester City and Sheffield United. So Liverpool and Fulham. Again, I'm gonna start off with a question for you. Have you watched either team this season?
Yeah, watch Newcastle versus City and watch Chelsea and Liverpool.
Okay. Well, for me, I watched the second half of the Chelsea Liverpool game, and I never get to catch them game against Bournemouth.
Yeah,
I don't remember which
never
game
watch
did
that one
happen at
either.
the time, but I never get to watch the Liverpool Bournemouth one. Um, for Newcastle, obviously, I watched their game against us, but they also get to see the second half of their match against Aston Villa. And I've been a wake up really late these past couple of weeks, so like me set the alarm for wake up, watch a match them, and then sleep right through it by the time I wake up at halftime. So that's why I end up get so much halftime match. But you just said that you're predicting Liverpool to finish over Newcastle. So does that mean that you're expecting Liverpool to come up with a win in this match?
No, I think New I think I'm gonna lose it. But
Mm,
overall for the season, I think I'm gonna finish higher. But this match in particular, I think I'm gonna lose.
okay.
Cause
Well,
to me, the midfield too weak. Them
talk
do our
about it.
DM.
Talk about
The
it.
midfield too attacking. Don't have enough. Too
Hey, who them
imbalanced.
did ever play? Who them did ever play DM last match? McAllister.
Yeah, to me,
Can't
him
believe it,
can't play
man.
DM.
Like
If he moves at 8 or a
I feel like
10,
him
him
can
can't
do
play
a
6.
thing in a double pivot, but that is because we know say I go be the deep line playmaker and the one where I go get the ball and drift further upfield, right? So I actually put on some background music because I keep on forgetting. Yeah, I feel like him can do that little bit deeper role there, but he need like a ball winner next to him. You cannot expect him to protect your back four. You don't really know him of him
Yeah, him
contribution.
a got a push up more, him more attacking than Stewart can defend more. So,
And the thing is,
cause
I think
all them midfield him are more attacking than Stewart can defend. So to me, them threaten them attack them DM. That's the weakest part. Come on, the one thing with them is that them go score a whole heap of goal because of them attack. But them
yeah,
will consider a whole heap of goal too.
can definitely agree with that. And they also, I don't think they'll have McAllister for this match either because he got a red card in that last match. So,
I think they're missing it in them, so I'm not
oh
sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think
Actually, yeah,
they're
you're
missing
right, you're right, you're right. He should be available for that. You're right. Um, so that's good to remember that. So, what about the signings for both teams? Like, how you rate the transfer business with them do so far?
So far, I'm like starting from when Newcastle again from Italy. Him again Tonali.
Tonali.
Yeah, him seem like him good. I'm like the brother when I read that already. His name
Bruno Guimaraes.
Bruno. Yeah, I'm read him too.
Bad man.
And Isak. And Liverpool, me like Mark Alistair. Can watch him. Me rate him already because him come from Argentina already. So I'm rate him already.
Yeah.
But to me, them Newcastle have a better signing cause them shouldn't on the right part of them team.
So
Them still
aside from
and
Tonali,
Liverpool,
them also bring in Harvey Barnes from Leicester City.
yeah,
I don't know if them bring in anybody else aside from those two, but Harvey Barnes is another player on my rate. I think
yeah,
him underrated at Leicester, probably because the Leicester team they never really achieve what them they really supposed to. But I feel like he's a really good player. On that left wing, I think him really creative and him can definitely play a role in whatever Newcastle can do this season. I
yeah,
think him come on against Aston Villa in the first week and him get a goal and assist. So he's definitely a good look so far, a good start to life, and him need to continue that being a farm. For Liverpool, them bring in McAllister and Sabazlai, and then bring
yeah,
in a DM from then bring in a Japanese DM from
yeah,
Germany, I think.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Endo,
But me
Wataru
know him
Endo.
play, so
So the
me know
thing
him play, so
is,
I can't really know. Me know something about him because I never see him play, so I don't know.
I not gonna say I know the player, but I know of the player. I know of the player because of FIFA. Now, I not say me is an expert on this one because of FIFA. That's not what me I try to say. However, I also did see this player because I know him from FIFA. Like you know the name when you see the name or like you know the team when you play for. You kind of like look out for that player. So I've seen him a few times, especially for Japan, because me try watch every single Japan match at the World Cup. So I've seen him play for Japan and I know generally what this guy is about. But me feel like Liverpool need in them six right now is like somebody who in them conversation there with the Casemiras and the Rodgers. You see me? Like you don't need a DM for coming now where it's like him can do a thing. Like you need one of
Yeah,
a team
they
like
mean like a world
Liverpool with
class.
the
Yeah,
aspirations or them need for a go for. Like if
they
them
mean a
can't get
world
somebody
class
with world
team.
class now, they need to get somebody where I go be world class very soon. But get set them in a
Yeah.
Europa League now, but them need somebody where I go come in and then be like, yo, me are bringing you back the Champions League, but I go stay in the Champions League now, and me I go be the pinnacle in the pinnacle pivot in this midfield right now.
But the
And me
thing
not
is,
feel like them get that
most of the world class, um,
DMs.
them already signed
Yeah.
to to some big team already. So it's hard to get a move to them move.
But for me, it was a bit of poor planning because aside from Fabinho, them have a youngster, I think him a 19 or 20, Basetic, right? Like, you
Yeah.
cannot expect him to come in and be what Fabinho was 2, 3 years ago. That is unrealistic, in my opinion. Now, we know that Fabinho kind of fall off. For me, that's supposed to speed up the process in you going to, like, the moment from last season, you realize that the performance is dip. Even if you say it's a one-off thing and it might go better next year, go on and start look for a player we can probably come in just in case that not happen. Now them end up sell him, so you don't even have Fabinho again. You don't have no DM at the club, and you just have start look for center defensive mids. For me, like that is poor planning, and you kind of deserve where you get after that. Even if you realize you're not never out there, keep Fabinho then, and then make him continue with him the last year, and get the Endo. You get me? I say so. Even if Endo no work out, you know you still have Fabinho there, and you know you make
Yeah.
them rotate, them fight for them place, all of that. Because even last season, Fabinho never have anybody a pressure him for game. Him know he must start every
Mm-mm.
match.
Can really have no DM like that.
So yeah,
But
that's just what me
basically,
I look on with Liverpool. Obviously, them have goals in them team. You know, rumors about Salah go to Saudi. Me not think that gonna happen.
yeah, without
Um,
the time.
Man like Nunes did I get compared to Haaland last year, so he must have some goals in him second year. Me get you can't really be too harsh on them young players in them first year, even though you still have to have certain expectations. But second year, you have to show something. Cody Gakpo is the next one in a well, technically it's half a season of Liverpool, but in him second year now, so he need to do a thing more.
They need to try to
Luis
get like a
Diaz,
player where a striker will play more like the name again.
Firmino.
Yeah, so like how we play.
I feel
They
like
have too
that's
much.
what Gakpo was supposed to be. But now them are playing in a midfield. I don't know if that's supposed to prepare him
Yeah,
to play the fast nine better. But bro, I feel like him need the experience playing in that position, the actual position before him get where him go. But I not tell Capo
cause,
for coach him team still. Because I
yeah,
might
but
get
the thing
fired
is
for whatever decision
with
him make.
Liverpool, the three forward them play the same way. All them are pace. Really have no like creative one out of the three of them. All the three of them are like pace. And,
Yeah, that's true. And I think Gakpo last season, obviously it started off kind of poor for him. But as the season grew, I think him grow into the team and him start putting some good performances towards the end of the season. So I think even him should be getting more games in that forward line. Obviously, Luis Diaz is another player who he's not necessarily just pace and power. He also has a lot of creativity in him as well.
yeah,
Kind of like a Mane when he just got to Liverpool. So, him need to actually step up to like, I don't want to say Mane level numbers, but definitely more than when him give to Liverpool last season. Um, so if you were supposed to pick one player from each team that you're looking at as the key player for the team to get something out of the game, who you pick for Liverpool, who you pick for Newcastle?
Liverpool obviously me go say Salah same way, and for Newcastle me go say Bruno.
Bruno? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, for me, for Newcastle, or better yet, explain the decisions before me go.
with with Salah obviously him are the best attacker. Him can create and him can score. If him a play good, most him normally play good most of the time. So I expect say him a go play good. That him can score a goal out of nothing. And with Newcastle for Bruno, him basically control the midfield. So if anything come through him,
Mm,
basically that.
okay. Um, for Newcastle, for me, I look on Alexander Isak. For me, I think he's really rated, but I still get the sense I'm kind of underrated, and that I feel like I go work in favor. People don't really expect too much from him this season, so there's not really too much pressure and expectation like Hoyland from Manu. Like he's the
Yeah,
only striker Manu have. Them really need a striker for the past couple of years. So him coming in now and the money with them pay for him, yeah, expect instant impact and him already come in injured, so he must start slower than you would normally expect. So I think he's a player or example of a player who has a lot of pressure on his shoulders already. But for Isak, I don't think him have the same pressure. I think he more can focus on playing him game. He's obviously a very creative player. At the same time, he's a very clinical player. If you give him chances, 3 chances, he might go score one of them. If him get five, he might go score at least two of them because he's that good. So I feel like he might have a big season coming up. Um, no, him I look forward to playing at the Champions League. But for this particular game, for me, I feel like when they played against us at the Etihad, them give we a little bit
Yeah.
too much respect. Them kind of sit
Yeah,
up
then
and
yeah,
just
yeah.
allow to play with ball game. And for me, it's like,
Too
bro, it's like,
defensive, yeah.
yeah, ask, forget cut open. Why did this music stop playing? It's like, yeah, ask, forget cut open. So I'm looking at how they approach this game to see how they're looking at a team like Liverpool. Obviously, a lot of people have Liverpool just about getting into the top five, fourth or fifth in most cases. So, and they're playing at home as well. St James's Park is a fortress. So Liverpool going there, I'm expecting Newcastle to actually give them a solid fight. I think it's going to be very hectic in the midfield areas as well, especially since I think they'll be a bit disappointed by their performance at the Etihad. So this is retribution time now. It's probably a bad time to go to St James's Park, and I guess that's supposed to give you an idea of where my prediction is going to go, or maybe not. But um, for Liverpool, I'm looking at Salah as well, but I'm kind of tempted to go Szoboszlai. The reason why I'm not going Szoboszlai and I'm going Salah is I'm looking at that midfield battle, and I think he's going to have a very difficult match. I think Tonali is going to be like wanting to prove a point because obviously in first game against Aston Villa was really good. Everybody loved that debut from him. Also get a goal on him debut, scoring Newcastle
Yeah.
first goal of the season. But then in the second match, he was not very good against us. And it's like, oh, maybe it's just a one match thing. That's what I hear a lot of people saying. So coming up against Liverpool now and playing at their home stadium, I feel like he's going to be like, you know what, this is a big 16. We're playing at home right now, second home match. That's where I had my great performance last time out. Now I can come show them there again what I have about me. And it's not Aston Villa this time. This is big Liverpool, you see me? So I feel like he's going to be really on his game. And obviously Bruno Guimaraes, Joe Linton. That's not an easy midfield to play against. So if Zobos like come out as that player, then props to him. But Salah has always been that player for Liverpool where if something is going to happen, 9 times out of 10, him have something to do with it. Either I'm gonna get the pre-assist, him will get the assist, or him score it. That goal with him score against Chelsea
Yeah.
for when him assist Luis Diaz, bro,
Yeah.
disgusting pass from Salah. Brilliant, brilliant pass, man. Nah lie. So we see them things here, and I'm like, you know what? Him still a wave the red flag. Him still a hold up the creativity side and the number side on him back. So I'm sure he's going to deliver again at St. James's Park. Well, he needs to if Liverpool want to get anything out of the game. But what is your score prediction for that Liverpool Newcastle match? Again, Newcastle is playing at home, so keep that in mind.
And I say 2-1 Newcastle.
2-1 Newcastle. All right. My prediction is 2-2 Newcastle. I think it's going to be fairly evenly matched. And I think they won't be able to be separated. They'll both settle for a point. I feel like it's going to be a very entertaining game though for the neutral. I think both teams will be going for it, especially Newcastle because they're playing at home. Them get a special type of energy from them home crowd. And I think last time they played Liverpool, it ended 2-0 and Pope got a red card as well. So again, there's a lot of drama in this fixture and it's in recent memory as well. So I'm really looking forward to this game on Sunday. I can't lie to you.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say on the Liverpool Newcastle match before we move on?
No, really.
All right. So we can go to Arsenal Fulham then. Again, people, don't forget to hit that like button and help the video get pushed out to other people so them can get introduced to the content and subscribe as well because 85 are really the next step. Well, 83 is the next direct step, but 83, 85 eventually get to 100. That's how it works. So do me a favor and just keep supporting the channel. You see me? Arsenal Fulham. Before me even start this, I have a question. You know what I mean? For this go down the wrong debate now, but Saka or Foden?
Foden,
Alright,
even
alright,
though
yeah, you have sense, you
even
have sense.
though
Alright, cool, cool,
Saka
cool,
score
cool.
more goal, but overall, I'm
Alright,
turning on
cool,
Foden.
cool. Because if it says Saka, then we would have need to have that debate on a different video. You see me? Because I have my reasons why I'm think Foden better, but again, we're not going to that right now. Um, Arsenal versus Fulham. This game should only be going in a one direction. I'm not at
Yeah.
the music group. So we all know what we're expecting from both teams here, especially with the transfer business that was done as well. But obviously, I watch Arsenal already this season. You got to see any Fulham games yet, or no?
No, no one say it.
So you see, this is a you see the thing is you're coming up against an opponent where you don't know them strengths. You don't know what kind of weapons them are come with. This is very dangerous. Um, so you wouldn't be able to give me a Fulham player that you're looking at as the difference maker for Fulham then.
It would have been Mitrovic, but him gone, so and not him
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
So
man, I getting bag of Saudi and tax.
yeah, so who the sure car? No much him in season yet.
Um, I'm not sure if Palhinha is fit right now. I think he might be. Me really like when we did see from him last season. Um, I don't think Willian is there still either. I don't even think of a player to watch from Fulham either. I'm not gonna lie to you. But for Arsenal, who is that player that you're looking at to be your difference maker? There's a lot of them to choose from.
Like I said, Odegaard. If him
Why?
create, if he create a good amount, if him create a good amount of chance, we're supposed to can win it. What do you think?
Mm.
Yeah, Odegaard. Yeah, cause even though last match, I never like which part him play. In play a little bit too wide last match. I never like that. Cause they kind of in the out of the game for too much time. Cause never
Mm.
play too wide. But when I say it's still say Odegaard.
Okay. Well, I feel like a lot of people would be tempted to say Saka, but I'm going with Martinelli. I heard that he was really electric in that first game against Nottingham Forest. I didn't get to see any of it, but I did get to watch the Crystal Palace game. Now, that Crystal Palace match was so boring. I can't lie to you.
Yes.
When they have it up, I'm going to start playing FIFA. Like, it was like, I can't sit down and just watch this alone. I don't know. It did so lame. There was, like, Crystal Palace did have them opportunities to get something out of the game and then waste it every single time. Obviously, Olise never play. And that was a bit disappointing because, he's one of their better players. Um, and for us, and then them give away the penalty just for free, basically. Like them Arsenal never really need to do much to win the penalty, and that was the only goal they ended up score. Even though Nketiah did hit the post earlier in the game.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
I'm going with
Mr.
Martinelli.
Sita.
Um,
Mr. Sita to him basically Mr. him to go to.
yeah, I never did say that chance, but me hear about it. People are talk about it. Um, Martinelli, I think Martinelli is brilliant young player, exceptional dribbler. Joga Bonito. And, numbers wise, he was also playing a very important role in the Arsenal team. I think he finished as the top scorer, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Last no last
Last
season.
season. Yeah. With
Between
15
him and
goals in the
Saka.
Premier League.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
man. Oh,
yeah,
yeah, I
second.
think Saka did end up catching him up to 15. So I think them did end up, or maybe, no, I think Saka's 15 was all comps.
Yeah.
Anyways, Martinelli was very much up there. And, I don't think a lot of wingers look forward to coming up against Martinelli. I don't think fullbacks look forward to coming up against Martinelli. And I don't think Fulham have any fullbacks capable of containing Martinelli either. So I expect to see him play a crucial part in whatever you guys are creating. Obviously, it could easily well be Salah because they do share that responsibility amongst them, but Martinelli seems to be the one with more of an eye for goal. He also never really finished the season that strongly last season, and him still end up with 15. So that's kind
Yeah.
of mad when I think about it. And what about your score prediction for this game? Oh, wait.
Um,
Before we go into the score predictions, we never asked about the new signings for Arsenal. How you feeling about the new signings for Arsenal?
I like them. Most of them. I don't know why we sign Havertz all now, cause I don't know why him though.
And then the old Chelsea
Heckan Rice,
whatever.
Heckan Rice good. Timber good if them get injured. Size him get injured, cause him our best signing this season,
Agreed.
and him get injured.
So the
Uh,
thing is, did you guys sign any other players actually?
Um,
That was it, right?
yeah,
Just those three.
we signed a keeper. Um, David Raya
Oh
on loan.
yeah, David Raya. Yeah. What do you think is the plan for Raya?
Probably just to get Ramsdale competition. Cause last season he make some mistake, but him did good last overall though, but he make some mistakes. So probably just to give him some competition.
That is such a weird deal to me because he was an undisputed starter at Brentford. Marty said on the channel that when the links that have come out say Arsenal interested in him or Spurs is interested in him first, I was thinking why would Brentford sell him because it's not like Brighton where you know them can sell Sanchez because you know them have Steele as the backup keeper who already did a play and them did a come into play in Premier League games as well. So apparently him fall out of favor with the manager, but you never know. Maybe him could have end up come back and take the first position from Steele. But you know, say there is another keeper there capable of being the main starter at Brighton. For Brentford, I don't really see that same consistency. So I'm looking at Brya as the undisputed number one and one of the better keepers in the Premier League. So why would they sell him and why for 30 mil? But hey, no, he's at Arsenal, and I don't even think I think Ramsdale had a good season last season. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, me
Yeah,
get him can be shaky, and you would want another or a better quality goalkeeper than Matt Turner to be the backup to put some pressure on him. But Raya, Raya is I think Raya's kinda too good to be a backup in a way. Probably
yeah,
because Brentford was a
yeah,
team that was overachieving and he was solid there, but to come into a big six team now, but to be majority on the bench, I don't see what the incentive is for him. Good business for Arsenal for sure, but I don't see what's the incentive for him. Unless him sure say him come take Ramsdale game and it's just a matter of time.
yeah.
Obviously,
But don't still don't want to take him game, so I don't know why him come.
we just have to see because there has to be some sort of plan there. Has to be. Um Declan Rice, good signing again. Don't think him worth 100 million, but
Indeed,
sometimes you have to
until
pay the money to get the player where you
overpay
want.
him.
You know, when it was City doing this, nobody never want to hear the reasoning as to why we spend this amount on this player. But so it goes sometime. We are the trendsetters still, so people over time are gonna realize that what we did do was way ahead of everybody else, isn't it? Um, Havertz, less said is enough. The less said on Havertz is enough because I still don't see the point of that signing. But for the amount of money, he better play an important part in the season. Or Arteta have some questions to answer for, just like
Yeah,
Ten Hag Mount. And obviously,
yeah,
Timber is a big miss. I think you guys might need to try to get another player like him because I don't think anybody else in your back line except probably Saliba does what Timber gives you.
yeah.
Unless you'll give what him name Ben White that freedom. But
What's that?
no.
I'm not just something to do that.
I think him can do a thing, especially up the line. I don't think Arteta trust him to really be in the like central midfield areas on the ball. But Timber obviously have that quality there. Because I think him did also play CDM at Ajax. So him
Yeah,
drifting from right back to CDM, not really that difficult.
and
But
he can play center. He can play right
center back,
across the defense.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right. But the thing is with White, him can play right back and centre back. And when him go forward, he's usually up the line, not necessarily inverting next to the whoever midfielder is there. And
yeah,
to be honest, right now it seems like Partey is the answer for Timber being out. And then probably gonna go
yeah.
back to Zinchenko up on the other side. Because
Yeah,
even training,
Partey, him start and right and left back with him just dropping in midfield.
yeah, right. Well, Partey start at right back, but yeah, we get your point.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Kieran Tierney going out to Sociedad?
Me, me, me no mind cause him the Arsenal not getting the game, so might as well him leave. Even though him a probably behind Timber, him first start. Cause him better than Hammy also, but him not getting the game, so might as well him go
I don't
and go
think
start.
I don't think Tomiyasu is a player keeping him out of the team. No, I think it was always Zinchenko.
Even,
Because
even before even before him come, him still how they not getting the game.
I don't know, man. You see, the thing is, with these managers, we have to kind of understand. You'll have good players at your club, but them just don't fancy the player. Like maybe them don't see the attributes in them that they want from a player in that position, and then they just slowly transition into getting them out of the team. Pep definitely do it with players who him come into the squad and see phase them out over time, or them just end up don't fit the system anymore. Laporte
Yeah,
unfortunately leave because him can't fit the current system of play, even though him still is a top centre back. I still think him could have played in Europe, and I don't think him the need for go to Saudi. But so long as him not the back in the Premier League, I can't really complain. And obviously big up Laporte every single time. But um, Tierney Tierney was a bit weird because I think when Arteta come in, him did a start, but as I say, him get Zinchenko, and it's like you play in such a different way than Tierney. No, me not even want a player like Tierney anymore. Me not want the player who just play the line and then come back down in the line. I want somebody who can go in at the midfield and be a bit more creative because
yeah, but
since
the thing is
the team getting improve.
with what you call it Zinchenko, him can defend though. Him can attack good, but him can defend. That's the thing.
True. And Tierney, him good in a both aspects because if him a go up
Yeah,
the line and I whip the ball in the box, he's a dangerous player. And
yeah,
defensively, him probably wasn't the best left back defensively still.
yeah,
So I don't know. I think Tomiyasu may rate him defensively, but him more is a right sided player. I don't think he's
yeah,
a left back. I still don't understand why Arteta force him to play there, even though sometimes fullbacks can interchange on the wing, but up him clearly more suited for play right back than left back. So Tierney would have still be the better option there. But yeah, as I said, Havertz we're not really going into that.
yeah. No, no.
um what is the score prediction for this Arsenal Fulham match? I think it's at Emirates, right?
Yeah, 2-0 Arsenal.
You
2-0
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
I think I'll have to agree with you 2-0. I would love to say 3-0, but the first match 2-1, the second match 1-0. There's not really much you guys showing attacking wise, especially last match.
Yeah,
That was terrible.
do create a whole, we have the ball a whole, but we now create a whole heap of chance.
Yeah, and I think from what I've seen of Saka so far, keep in mind is just that one Palace match. And majority of what I'm saying, I'm sure it's the same for you. Is just speculation because when I really see a lot of these teams yet, the season just start. Teams still get adjusted with the chemistry, some new players in the team and all that stuff, right? But from what I've seen in that match, I think Saka is playing well, but something is off, something not right. Him score against Nottingham Forest, but usually expect the same kind of energy from him in the next match. And I don't think him did as explosive and capture the game as how him would in the last season. But maybe
When
me
we
I
start,
compare
when we start season from last season, because the second half of last season the same thing.
and drop off. Yeah,
Basically,
you're right.
yeah,
So maybe just a bit of time, and maybe next month is a month for him. Everybody get a month of football in them foot, and then next month we start see the real direction of everybody's season. So I'll definitely give them some time, but I'm keeping an eye on players like Saka and Martinelli because them getting at some big conversations. So you have to
yeah.
treat them
Cause
like
last year people that comparing to MU said, me first cut from Ed. I said what?
me I hear Saka get compared to Salah, and Salah
Yeah,
got the
me
most
first say
score
you need to
record in
relax.
the league already. Like, yo, people need to chill sometimes, you see me? But I understand new players come up, especially when them come from the academy, fans definitely get excited. People are telling me say Saka world class. I don't know if,
In the records.
I don't know if my viewers tired to hear me say this, but City was not a big club until we win the Champions League, right?
Yeah,
So, oh, yeah, gonna tell me say soccer world class and him never yet even playing at the Champions League in his life. Oh, that makes sense. Don't tell me about what I'm doing at the Premier League because when we did win 5 Premier League, nobody never business until we win a Champions League. So if the Champions League is that much respected and big club is that level, we need to win it before we get to that, then you at least have to have a appearance in the Champions League, some goals and assists, and some world class performances in the Champions League before we start labeling that title. I think you could say he's had world class performances. That's definitely a debate to be had. But world class player, that needs some more time. Make that part they go and cook. You see me?
yeah,
But we can move on to the Manchester City match against Sheffield United. Aside from City fans, I don't think there will be a lot of people tuning into this match, to be honest.
yeah.
Because not really much on the
Most
line.
likely,
A lot of people are
City
playing
could
to get
probably
ready.
drop 4 from them or something like
Yeah,
that. So
everybody expect a beat down. It's like nobody don't really care about this match aside from City fans. Cause me now miss this match for nothing. I'm sure you understand that. Cause more I
yeah,
watch every City match possible. But as it relates to the last time we played Sheffield, this was a 3-0 match in the FA Cup semi-finals. Um, I think we scored just before halftime, and then we got 2 more in the second half. Riyad Mahrez got all the goals. Um, Sadly, Riyad Mahrez leave. And we're going to talk about the City incomings and outgoings as well. But,
yeah. Yo, if I hear me cut off, I'm gonna watch it on my phone going, cause come like this, start man going right now.
all right, I keep that in mind. But in terms of the Sheffield squad, I think them definitely get a lot weaker since the last time I played them. Because the last time, it was the reason why we never score until just before halftime is because the defensive display was really strong from Sheffield. Them never really leave it with a lot of space. Them get them own opportunities. I think them they get a corner and we end up or the keeper they end up have to pick it up off of the line to keep that result. So Sheffield, I think, got significantly weaker. Them sell a lot of them best players, and now we have seen a different version of Manchester City. I wouldn't necessarily say a weaker Manchester City, but a different Manchester City team because some personalities left the club and different types of players come in. So I'm not looking at them as like direct replacements. I'm looking at them as like squad replacements. As we have different
Yeah,
weapons to use now. Um, it was really difficult for me even identify a Sheffield player to be the player to watch for them because I don't even know any of them players right now. I've heard a couple of the
me
names,
neither.
of course, but none of the players I'm not really familiar with. Um, one of them who I came up with because I usually do 3 for Manchester City and 3 for the opponent. I only end up with 2 for Sheffield and I still even know one of them. You see me? So first one is Hamer. Him scored them only goal so far this season. It was also him debut for Sheffield, and obviously they only score 1 goal. It was through him. So if anybody is to score or get something against us going forward, whether it is an assist or anything creative, I feel like he's the one that we need to look out for the most as the most dangerous offensive player there. Obviously, them have a lot of injuries right now as well, aside from losing some of them best weapons. So I'm looking at him as one of the key players to watch for them. Um, the next player I'm looking at is Tom Davies, which is a former Everton player. I think he played all-time career at Everton and him just moved 25, so he's still a good age. I think he's going to be a very crucial player for them. He's going to come in with a lot of Premier League experience, and I think he will be very invaluable to a team who, again, it's not really looking bright for them. A lot of people have them to get relegated, and I can't lie, I'm one of them based on
Yeah,
what I'm
me
seeing
too.
so far. So, what are you thinking about Sheffield and Manchester City?
Well, prediction.
No, man, what you think about the game? What you expect to see? Just a general synopsis.
Probably Sheffield I got probably most like a defensive. Them I got probably have pop out the bus most likely. Cause to me the whole season, everybody must say play Man City. Them tried that. So them gonna probably have like 20 to 80, like 20 to like 60% of the ball. So cause that them
Yeah,
that normal that. So
I can
it's a-
definitely see that happening. I can definitely see that happening. Um, I think the games that they played so far, I think them play Nottingham Forest and Fulham, if I'm remembering correctly. And I didn't get to see any of their games, so this is not from a point of expertise on Sheffield, but they lost both of them. So that's if that's anything to go by, then this is a unfortunate situation for Sheffield United currently. I think everybody's looking at this game as a formality, and may I try be as respectful to Sheffield as possible. I mean, I don't want to just come in and say, yo, them a shit, we are going to beat them, them not have a chance. May I try to give them some form of credit, but it really and truly look, it's set up to be just one-way traffic until the end of the 90 minutes, even though we're playing in their home stadium. Um,
yeah,
as it relates to the Manchester City players that I'm looking at watching, before I get to that, let me see the comments because there seems to be some comments coming in. Um, General Elijah Larson, big up yourself. He says, Wagwan, become late. But there we already went through Newcastle versus Liverpool. We spoke briefly on the Chelsea result. That game was played earlier today. And we also spoke on Arsenal Fulham. So no, actually just in time because we just start talk about Manchester City. So big up yourself again for being here, brother. And we have Lady Rosemary Gentles. Big up yourself. A lot of support I'm getting from you lately, and I really appreciate it. And she says, Hey, Clinical, I'm looking forward to the match on Sunday. I hope the new kid on the block gets some game time. Blessings to the growth of your channel. 100%. Thank you so much for that. And we will definitely get to that new kid on the block sooner than later. Um, the Manchester City players that I am looking at as the difference makers for this game, obviously, Erling Haaland has to be the first name I call. Um, Naturally, you'll think about Manchester City scoring a lot of goals in a match. Erling Haaland comes to mind in this current team, right? But
yeah.
I think him have extra incentive now because
Shy, my cut.
uh, looks like we lost him. Looks like we lost our guest. Let's see if he can get back here. Um, so yeah, I'm looking at Erling Haaland as that first player in the team who I'm expecting to get something from. He didn't score or have really any joy against Newcastle last time out. So I do feel like he's coming into this game with a point to prove and a little bit of extra hunger to get some goals and rectify or close out the month that he's had. Obviously, he had a brilliant first game against Burnley, scored 2 goals, and it seemed like it was a good start and picking up exactly where he left off last season. But Sheffield away is still a brilliant opportunity to add to that tally. We had a big 6 game last time out and he didn't get what he wanted from it. So I'm sure that in preparation for the next one, this is a game he's looking at and saying, you know what? Big performance, team needs me. Any slight half chance opportunity I get, I'm burying it because it's not like he didn't have chances against Newcastle. He just, in my opinion, didn't have a good game. So aside from Erling Haaland, I'm looking at Silva. Bernardo Silva, just coming back from injury. I'm really not sure if he's going to be playing or starting the game, but I do think that he will feature even if it's off the bench. He signed a new contract recently. Big, 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 big news for the club. I love Bernardo Silva. I think it would have been very difficult to replace a player like him, especially the experience that he's had under Pep Guardiola as well. So I think it was very crucial that we got him into the club to stay. And he might be running down his contract and leaving, but that means we get to see 3 more years of him still in his prime. So very, very happy with keeping Bernardo Silva. And I think he'll come in and give us a little bit more of that Silva magic, that he has from sharing names with David Silva. So he's gonna come show with that magic probably on the right wing. He might. I'm not sure how the starting positions will go between him and Alvarez because, in terms of the team sheet, they seem to take up the same position. But let's see what Pep is cooking for us because The third player I have to watch is actually Julian Alvarez. Against Newcastle, he was the one that stepped up and got us our goal. Him and Phil Foden linking up brilliantly. I expect to see some more of that on Sunday. And I'm expecting Julian Alvarez to potentially get another goal. That guy is a very fearsome one when he has the ball at his feet in the box. Like I said before, that goal that he scored for me was goal of the month already. Did not even look at the goal, put it just about in the top bins from so far out as well. So much power. Keeper gets a hand to it and it still goes by him. So brilliant talent, Julian Alvarez. I think he will definitely get his chance to play. I think Pep is really liking what he's seen from this player and experimenting with the best position to put him into the team at. So I do expect to see him feature at some point in time, whether that is a start or a substitute appearance. It could be the other way for Bernardo Silva, where Alvarez starts and Bernardo comes in because obviously Bernardo is coming off of an injury. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Pep has cooking for us. This would have been where I deferred over to my guest and he would then give his thoughts, but I'm still waiting to see if he's coming back. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had in terms of the signing so far for both teams. I've seen a lot of new faces for Sheffield when I was doing a bit of research on them before the stream, but I do not recognize any of them. I don't know them from where they played before they came to Sheffield. I've never heard of a lot of these players. I really can't give you guys an opinion as yet. In the review, I'll definitely come back with more information on them based on what we have played against them, of course. But yeah, we just have to wait a little bit of time on that. Maybe by the next time we play them in the home fixture, we can speak about how their signings have adapted to the Premier League and what they've given to them, what we can expect for them to bring to the Etihad. But as it relates to our new signings, we're still aiming to add some more to the list. Obviously, players like Kovacic would have been speaking on before. Brilliant player, brilliant signing. I think that Matheus Nunes, who is the other link that we had, is very similar to him, but I don't see Nunes displacing him. I think Kovacic is going to be a staple in this team. He's been that good. So big up to Kovacic, man. Never have. As of right now, I can't shout a praise for Kovacic. I can't lie. I wish I were changing him. Aside from Kovacic, we have Gvardiol. I do think I think he'll probably sit out this game, or Diaz will sit out this game and he'll play next to Ake. I think that second one might be what Pep is cooking for us because I do think Ake needs to play more games. Obviously, the season just started, but excuse me, I don't think Ake deserves to have a long period of time not being in the team. So he might come back and feature. And Gvardiol, I do think he's in good fame. Good form from the previous games that he played. Obviously, his first game would have been against Sevilla in the Super Cup, and then in the last game against Newcastle, in which his performances have improved between those two games. So, by that logic and by sequencing, you would assume that if he does play this game, Sheffield United versus Newcastle is a difference in strength between the two teams. So, if he does play in that game, I do think that he'll be a bit more confident in terms of getting on the ball and what he can bring to us. I do think he has a lot of ability going forward and further and being further up the pitch, even though he's a centre back predominantly. But I don't think he has that confidence in the Manchester City team as yet because he's a new signing. He's trying to fit in, not make too much mistakes. Things can go by so quickly, especially when you're a young player and a new signing. So I think this is a really good game for him to go out there and express himself. Even so, in the second half, like get the first half under his belt, good solid performance, don't concede a goal, and then in the second half, just inch yourself a bit further up the pitch, show Pep how else him can utilize your skill and abilities. I still think John Stones is not back yet, so maybe Akanji will most likely start and play in that Stones role again, but maybe he can alternate and take some of that responsibility off Akanji as well. I'm looking forward to some of that from Josko Govardia. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have on in terms of information, our thoughts, opinions on the game. But score prediction, which is the last thing before I go, I will say 4-0 Manchester City. I think we'll win 4-0. No disrespect to Sheffield, but they're not in good form right now, coupled with the fact that we are in good form right now. So I do think both of those scenarios coming together, there's only really one outcome that can happen in terms of results. But how it will go down, I can see it being a 4-0 game. I can see Erling Haaland getting another 2 goals. I can see Alvarez getting one. And you never know. Young Belgian just might be coming off the bench to have a bit of an impact. We didn't speak on Jeremy Doku as yet, which is a player who I rated from playing for Belgium in the Euros, and I also saw a bit of him again at the World Cup. He was brilliant both times I saw him. Both times I was wondering, like, how is a bigger team not coming in for this guy? Like, unbelievable talent, very, very creative. My issue with him is that injury issue that he has. I'm not very fond of it, but at the same time, that is something that can improve. Obviously, he's at an age where he could have been going through growing pains and issues as well. So you never know. Hopefully, it's just something as minor as that, and we can see a more fit and consistently fit version of Jeremy Doku at Manchester City. For me, that and his lack of experience are the only two slights I have on him. But for a young player like him to have played as much times as he has for Belgium, as well as playing for Rennes in League One, top flight football, I don't want to say play regularly because his injuries has limited how much he would have gotten to feature for those teams. But I'm still expecting to see a lot of good things from Jeremy Doku. It would be a big ask to say come on and score a debut goal, even though we are playing Sheffield United. But I do think he can at least, there's still potential of him coming on and getting an assist, or you know, helping us create another goal, even if he doesn't get attributed with a stat towards that goal. But yeah, very excited about the signing of Jeremy Doku. And yeah, hopefully he's not the only signing this summer. Even if it's not Matheus Nunes, hopefully we get another signing in that midfield area. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have. 4-0 Manchester City. I think I went 2-0 for Arsenal, Fulham, and I went 2-2 for Liverpool, Newcastle. So obviously there are other games being played, but those are the three that we decided to highlight. We will have a review of this game on Monday. I think there is a Premier League match on Monday as well, so we might do in a similar time to today. But if not, then it will be scheduled anyway. So keep your notification bell on. You guys will see when the schedule is out, and I do hope to see a lot of you guys here as well. And just before I go, big up once again to Miss Rosemary Marie. I really do appreciate you being here. Big up to General Elijah Lawson as well. And big up to Predator Gaming, who I haven't really seen your name on my channel before, which I like that you're sending in comments and getting your face in there. So thanks for the support from all of you guys. It's been a good one. I hope to see you all you guys again on the next one. Until next time.